Alright, we just got the information of Hu Tao's banner. It just dropped. I'm recording this. This is completely unscripted. I did not expect them to drop it on a Saturday. They usually drop it on a Sunday, I think, if I have my history right. But I am pretty sure they usually do banner drops on Sundays. But anyway, here's the banner. This banner breaks some rules, or it breaks the number one rule of character event banners that we usually say. We will always say that there will never be a 4-star character that is the same element as a 5-star character that is the rate up 5-star. But this banner breaks this rule, which I find really interesting. We have Hu Tao, of course, Jing Cho, Chong Yun, and Zhang Ling, who is also a pyro spear user nonetheless. So this is very weird and different, which I'm like kinda like they could have put someone else, but at the same time it's kind of cool, but it's just weird. It's weird to get used to. But before I get into like whether or not this banner is good, let's go through the other things that you announced. So obviously we have the character story when she comes out. We have this little phase 2 thing here. It shows us a wish. Starts at March 2nd. Asia comes first, of course, and then EU, and then US. And then we have I think this is the expedition event too. You have to be adventure rate 40 or above. From what I see right here. And this is the weapon banner we have right now, Cephahoma. With Genshin, we already seen this has been out in the game already, and we of course have test runs for the characters. Let me just make sure I don't miss anything from here. Nothing new. Okay, so story quest, and let's talk about the banner. So I'm gonna get into Hu Tao. I have this page open to go over her for my first impressions of her, but first I want to go over to the 4 stars. Obviously everyone should have a Zhang Ling. We all know Zhang Li's sick. She's a really decent 4-star character, easy to build, and just a very good support character. But also she can be a very good DPS character with the Crescent Pike. So if you want more constellations on her, I feel like the only really good constellations on Zhang Ling is like Constellation 1 and 4. But yeah, you don't really need constellations for Zhang Ling. So yeah, I say for Chong Yun, I feel like he's very situational if you need him or not. I feel like he will be useful if you want to try out the permafreeze comp, which consists of Kaya, Chong Yun, Jing Cho, or an animal user other than Zhao. Most preferably Jean, but not everyone has Jean. You can use like Sucrose or main character. So yeah, Jing Cho, obviously I feel like a lot of people predict Jing Cho is going to pair well with Hu Tao, but we don't know how Jing Cho's ult procs is going to work with Hu Tao's elemental skill, which I'll get into in a bit. But first glance, 4 stars are not bad, but not great. The only character I would say that's like even worth pulling for this banner is Jing Cho. And even then, you can claim Jing Cho as your free character on the event where you can claim the leeway 4 stars. But other than that, if you're looking for constellations on Jing Cho, again, you don't really need constellations for Jing Cho for him to be good. C1's good, C2's good, C6 is amazing. But even then, you don't need constellations on Jing Cho. They do help him a lot. They just boost damage. But all in all, you don't need constellations for Jing Cho. I don't really use Chong, so I don't really know how useful his constellations is, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, first glance, again, this banner is okay. It's very situational if you really need it. If you absolutely need a Chong Yun for permafreeze, then go for it, I guess. Other than that, if you don't have a Jing Cho, obviously you want to go for a Jing Cho. He's super good, one of the best 4 stars in the game. Now let's talk about Hu Tao. I have this page up. I'm gonna skip through the all voiceovers and stories. I'm just gonna go straight into her talents. So we have her normal attack, very basic normal attack. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Her elemental skill. Let's read through this. Hu Tao consumes a part of her HP, knocking nearby enemies back and entering the parameta papilio state. Increases Hu Tao's attack based on her max HP at the time of entering the state. Attack bonus gained this way cannot exceed 400% of Hu Tao's base damage. Hu Tao's attack damage is converted to pyro damage. So think of Tartaglia's E, or elemental skill, where all of his attacks are converted into hydro, which cannot be overridden by any other elemental fusion. Increases Hu Tao's resistance to interruption, which I assume is like she gets like a super armor where she won't get knocked back as frequently. So that's what I'm assuming. Paramita Papilio ends when its duration is over, or when Hu Tao has left the battlefield or fallen. So she does have a little selfish aspect to where if you leave the battlefield, her E runs out and it's on cooldown. So we don't know the exact numbers of her cooldowns, so we have to wait until she's officially out, I'll assume. But yeah. Alright, so here's another part of her elemental skill. In the Paramita Papilio state, I am so sorry if I'm butchering this. I'm just saying like as I'm reading it. So Hu Tao's charge attacks apply the Blood Blossom effect to enemies it hits. Enemies affected by Blood Blossom will take pyro damage every 4 seconds. This damage is considered elemental skill damage. So if you have gamblers, this will up its damage, but I would not recommend running gamblers since it's only a 4-star artifact set, and your main stats and your substats are going to be very limited. Each enemy can be affected by only one Blood Blossom effect at a time, and its generation may only be refreshed by Hu Tao herself. So from what I'm seeing through this, you definitely want to have this Blood Blossom effect up as much as you can. It's just free damage over time, pyro damage nonetheless. So who knows? Like I said earlier, we don't know how Jingqiu's ult or burst is gonna work with like who's gonna. I predict that Jingqiu is gonna proc the vaporize, which will kind of diminish damage, but we just have to test it out. So yeah. Let's go into her burst. Spirit Soother. Hu Tao commands a Blazing Spirit to deal pyro damage and a large AoE. Upon striking an enemy, regenerates the percentage of Hu Tao's max HP. This effect can be triggered up to 5 times based on the number of enemies hit, so basically 5 stacks. If Hu Tao's HP is below or equal to 50% when the enemy is hit, both the damage and HP regeneration are increased. So basically, you want to try to use her burst when she's below 50%, below or equal to 50%. You just get more regen and damage. So, first impressions on Hu Tao. We don't know exact numbers yet. I don't want to go into leaks, but we don't know official numbers yet. So, from what I'm seeing, she's gonna be a very good like switch in and switch out DPS. Especially her burst DPS. She kind of reminds me of Tartaglia's playstyle a bit, but she does. I'll predict that she has less cooldowns on her elemental skill and her burst. From what I'm seeing though, I feel like her burst is gonna be the same as Tartaglia's, which is 60 energy. But yeah, she seems she's really good. Like she can self-sustain herself with her ult, having to regen her, which is really good. And we just had to see how long her elemental skill lasts. But yeah, she looks like a very decent sub DPS, especially. I feel like just right away, I feel like you want to have another DPS with you, or carry character. On par with Hu Tao, so someone can like do more damage when her elemental skill cooldown is on. So yeah, that's basically my first glance impressions. She seems decent. I don't want to say if she's like a must pull. Even then, like I said before in my other videos, I don't consider any 5-star a must pull because it can cost a lot of money. But yeah, obviously, if you like the character, if she's adorable to you, that teaser, man, that teaser really made me want to pull her even more. But yeah, obviously, if you like the character and you like how she plays through the trial, please do the trials. A lot of people do just summon for the character and not do the trial, and they end up not liking them. It's not doesn't fit their playstyle. People need to do the trials, bro. I swear to God. But yeah, she's only a must-pull if you really like her character design and just her character in general. So yeah, that's all I have to say for Hu Tao, because she's not out just yet. By the time of this recording, of course. And yeah, wait for my 1 week later video on Hu Tao, and I'll go in depth with her, my builds and my experience with her, and that's where I'll go more in depth on Hu Tao, because this is all we have for now officially, and I only want to go over officially announced things by miHoYo themselves. I don't want to go over any leaks whatsoever. But yeah, just to wrap it up, the banner seems very situational, super situational, like honestly like any other banner. If you absolutely want to try out the perma-freeze comps but don't have Chong, then I suppose go for it for the Chong Yun. If you don't have a Jing Cho, definitely go for a Jing Cho. If you're looking into Zhangling constellations, which I don't think she really needs, most of Zhangling's constellations are not even that great, or even worth it. So yeah, I don't really see anyone pulling for this banner for the 4 stars, mostly just for Hu Tao. And again, I would only recommend pulling for Hu Tao if you really like her playstyle and her just a character in general. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I'll go more in depth on Hu Tao's kit on my 1 week later video for her. And yeah, before I end the video, I will be going hard on my summons for Hu Tao on my account when her banner drops. I'll be going live should be an hour before her banner goes live. I currently have 64 wishes on primals and 17 on acquaint fates or intertwined fates. So that's basically hitting almost hard pity. So I'm guaranteed to hit hard pity. I am 0 on my pity and 50-50. So I won't be guaranteed a Hu Tao on my first pity, but I do have some backup Genesis crystals which will guarantee soft pity. So even then, I'll hopefully get a guaranteed Hu Tao no matter what. So yeah, and if all goes, and best case scenario, or mostly less likely case scenario, if I get Hu Tao super early, I'll roll on the weapon banner, try to get Saphahoma. But that's like best case scenario. Other than that, I will not roll for Saphahoma. I'll probably just get her deathmatch, and yeah. But that's it for this video. My Twitch and Twitter are in the link in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. My next video will definitely be 1 week later Hu Tao, and yeah, see you guys then. Peace.